Welcome to the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society. Welcome to ITSP Magazine. You're listening to a new Two Cyber Chicks podcast. You're about to join Erika and Jax for an inclusive cybersecurity conversation designed to educate and break the stereotypes of cybersecurity professionals while providing life hacks on how to handle burnout, networking, and goal setting. Knowledge is power, now more than ever.
Erika, how are you? Are you excited about this episode? Our guests don't even know what's about to happen.
Gosh, Jax, I am so pumped. I'm so pumped for them to get the news.
I know. We have been talking about this news for, I would say, 3, 4, 5 months? It's been a while.
It's been a few months in the making for sure.
Yeah, and it's been really hard not to share it with people. We've had already some guests that we've talked to, but not a lot of people about this big update that we're going to tell all of our fans. So do you want to start it of what this great news is that we're getting ready to share with everybody?
Time to spill the beans. So, guys, Hackerz and Haecksen is getting a makeover.
Yeah.
Going forward, you'll be listening to Jax and I, branded as Two Cyber Chicks.
Whoop, whoop. I'm so excited about that. And many of you have probably noticed too that John hasn't been on a lot of our episodes. And we're so thrilled for him because he's got amazing opportunities that have popped up that he really had to pivot and focus on, not just his family, but just amazing career opportunities. So that's when Eric and I started chatting about it. We wanted to really keep this going, but we really felt like, hey, we should try to rebrand this and have a little bit more fun with it. So you guys will see not only the name Two Cyber Chicks, but our new logo and everything. We're really, really excited about this, though. So we'd love to have your guys' feedback on it. Overall, though, like, Erika, what do you think on the content and everything?
Yeah, so I'm obviously shout out to John. John, you are always welcome to be a guest host. We would love to have you. Our focus here is not changing. So for our listeners that have loved our content so far, obviously, we're going to keep that rolling. Jax and I are here to continue to speak to the same type of, demographic, anybody that's aspiring to be a cyber professional or already is in the industry that wants to level up, any students. We're still here to talk about, cybersecurity. We're wanting to talk about soft skills, tips and tricks. We're going to talk to industry leaders that are going to give us tips on how to navigate the space and highlight different types of careers and jobs that you can have within this space. So, Jax, I'm super pumped because we're still going to have a really interactive conversation with our awesome guests that we feature. And hopefully this is just a really fun rebrand for all of our listeners.
I'm so thrilled about this, Erika. I think that maybe we should share a little bit about our backgrounds, like a little bit about yourself, and then I can go about, like, Erika, let me ask you, how did you get into the cybersecurity space?
Love this question. And for those of you out there that haven't touched that episode, our intro episode, gosh, that's like 30 episodes back. So yeah, let's bring this back. So background, my name is Erika McDuffie. I have been in the cyberspace for several years. I was actually really fortunate enough to get into the cyberspace in my collegiate years. So that was my focus in my undergraduate studies. It was something that I quickly became really passionate about. And throughout my first few jobs in the cyberspace, I really just soaked all up and went to find my niche. And now I'm, a director at a large cybersecurity firm. This is what I do. It's my bread and butter. I love advising clients. I love working in a teamwork environment. I think that this is a really, really cool area where you get to always be learning, constantly evolving, and staying on top of the latest trends. And it's also really awesome just to be around people that are genuinely as passionate as, like, with the subject matter as you are. So, Jax, going over to you.
Hey, I agree with what you said on being around people that are as passionate as you, because that is something in the cybersecurity industry that I've really found that is very unique, is the passion. If you're in this industry, you have to be passionate, or you're not gonna be able to thrive, or you might need to like pivot into a different role in the industry. That's something I've definitely noticed. And my background, it's really unique. I started in military doing military IT. And through that, I actually did not like it because I was doing help desk and I was doing SharePoint. I really thought at that time, like cyber wasn't a thing. And I truly believe that IT was just help desk and SharePoint. And I really wanted to get out of that field. So the military created a new branch called, or the Army did, they created a new branch called electronic warfare. And that's what I pivoted into in 2013. And then in 2015, the Army came up with a great idea to put electronic warfare under cyber. So kicking and screaming emotionally, I was like, I do not want to go into cyber, but I had no choice. Now, fast forward since that time, I now have combined experience around 13 years of IT and cyber experience. And I have done cyber threat intel, leveraging my military intelligence background, my IT background, and putting me in that space. I've worked in fintech environments and I worked in the SOC in a fusion center. And now I run my own cybersecurity academy called the Outpost Gray. And I love what I do there. And since then, I've really pivoted even further into the GRC space, which, Erika, you're a ninja in this space. And I've really loved it and enjoyed it. And currently getting my graduate degree in the cybersecurity risk management space. So I'm really excited. This podcast for both of us is such a passion, not only to be able to share our stories and our journeys with you to really encourage and motivate you in the space, but bringing on the other guests and having them share their stories and journeys so you can understand more about this space. So I'm really excited about this rebrand, as I keep saying, because I just really believe that the mission and what we're doing here is going just to continue to impact and grow the community. And I'm really excited. If anybody's listening to this and like, God, I really want to be a guest on here, maybe you have any recommendations for guests, I say reach out to either Erika and I, and we would love to have your recommendations of either show ideas of topics that you would like us to cover, or recommendations for yourself, or maybe a guest that you would want on the show.
Yeah, gosh, Jax, you're like dating us because a decade of experience, each of us. I mean, that's just crazy. And the guests that we have on here have even more experience than we do. So I'm just super excited to continue to pay that forward and to hopefully inspire people that are listening and are either, wanting to level up in the career or just genuinely interested in getting their feet wet and see how they can make a pivot into the cyberspace. So I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to continue to meet really awesome people as part of this. And yeah, for those listeners out there, if you have any feedback, any topics that you would love to hear more about, there is nothing that is off the table. I mean, anything from the nitty-gritty technical stuff that you guys want to cover to hot cyber trends to the different types of jobs. I mean, one of the things that I've really, really, really enjoyed reflecting back on all of the episodes that we've released so far is just how many different job titles you come across. And what you mentioned earlier is so true. I mean, IT help desk was like the one IT job that everybody knew, right? Like everybody just thought you could come and help fix their computers and fix their printers, right? Like that's the common joke around this space, that everybody's family members like wants you to come and fix their printer.
Yes.
So yes. I love that, finally there's just some light being shed on just the plethora of jobs out there. And hopefully this is just like a call to action for people that are interested in IT things, right? Like there's more than you can do than you even knew was possible. There's just so many jobs out there that are waiting to be filled. It's just so excited to see what we look like as an industry 5 years from now, 10 years from now. It's insane.
It's going to be wild. Yeah. And for everybody, for our show and our tempo, I want to cover that really quickly with you too, is our tempo for new episodes will be bi-weekly. So if you're listening to this right now, just know in 2 weeks, we're going to have our first official guests on the show, and it'll actually be Sean and Marco. So we're really excited to have them on the show here in a couple of weeks. And then from that point on, it'll be every 2 weeks. So bi-weekly, we'll have new shows drop. So we're really excited about that.
Yes. So let us know, reach out to Jax and I, let us know your thoughts, if you're excited, anything at all. But let's keep this short and sweet, Jax. I am really excited to keep this rolling. We're bringing the heat in 2022.
Absolutely. We miss you, John. We're carrying the torch for you. All right. We'll see you all in 2 weeks. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Two Cyber Chicks podcast with Erika and Jax. If you learned something new and this podcast made you think, then share itspmagazine.com with your friends, family, and colleagues. If you represent a company and wish to associate your brand with our conversations, sponsor one or more of our podcast channels. We hope you will come back for more stories and follow us on our journey. You can always find us at the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society.